What's up? Welcome to episode number 142 of the People We Love podcast. I am Adam Choate. If you're new here, what I do is interview people from all walks of life, most often comedians and other entertainment types, creative types about their lives and careers. The conversation is casual, but I also ask everyone to highlight the people they love, who they admire, who have influenced them, or supported them. For more, check out peoplewelovepodcast.com. That forwards to my link tree with all the social media links and how to subscribe. And so please do so on whatever platform you listen to podcasts, of course, on YouTube as well. At People We Love Podcast on Instagram. I'm at Adam Choate on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to follow me, adamchoate.com forwards to all of my personal projects and other stuff and personal stuff and social media and all that as well. I'm actually producing a comedy show upcoming in Pasadena. If you're going to be in Southern California on Saturday, July 15th, definitely come out to that and check that out. We got Steve Fury, Gally Croup, Henry Sir, Zio New, Tommy Wakefield, hosted by Genevieve Joy. So definitely come out to that. All that information is at adamchoate.com, or definitely follow me at adamchoate to see more information about that show. It's Saturday night, July 15th. For today's episode of this podcast, we have Pacoima's own comedian, Arthur Hamilton, Pacoima, California, of course. We cover a lot in this one, from him watching Dragonball-Z to his time gangbanging, which he's no longer a part of course, to his eventual appreciation for psychedelics. Though originally from Los Angeles, Pacoima, of course, area, it was out in Phoenix, Arizona, where Arthur first dove into stand-up comedy. Since then, it's been a journey, and Arthur talks about so many comedy friends and comedy influences, including the legend Dave Chappelle himself. So let's just get started. Here's Arthur Hamilton. All right, so it's good to see you today, Arthur Hamilton. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
What it do, Adam? Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, for sure. How are you holding up during whatever year this is?
Holding up pretty good, just enjoying the small stuff, man.
That's good. Yeah, you were telling me that you had a long 48 hours, whatever, and you worked out, you went for a hike, you did a couple of shows in couple of different parts of town. So you're living the dream, making it happen, and keeping busy.
Keeping busy, man. Jeez, I'm gonna sleep hella good tonight.
Oh, that's good. I won't keep you too long. We can get into your life, and I was trying to look up a little bit of info about you. There isn't too much out there on the internet. You're a man of mystery.
That's good, dude. I always thought about that, like, too. Like, what is out there, like?
Yeah, I mean, stand up and content and stuff like that. But in terms of like your bio and history, there isn't a whole lot. But of course, there is a Voyage LA article, and I did locate that. So it sounds like you're from Pacoima and you spent some time in Phoenix, and then you were back in LA. So I did my research.
You did, man. Damn, I remember that. Hey, you know, it's funny thing, that Voyage articles, like, I guess you have to write it. They ask you, it's a questionnaire pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can only imagine what I would write in mine. I should write a fake one up. My fake voyage thing. Greatest person ever.
Yeah.
I'll throw I'll throw a first person in there just to be ridiculous. Just to be like
Yeah.
Oh man. So tell me about LA, like a little bit about your background and like family life, something like that. You were born in LA, and tell me like earliest memories and just kind of set the scene, and I'll jump in and keep the train moving along.
Shoot, man. Yeah, I was born in Granada Hills, the Granada Hills Hospital, but I'm from Pacoima, so Pacoima's like in the San Fernando Valley. That's where Rodney King got beat up.
That was in your bio also.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's honestly, that's like the only thing that you can like bring up to people and then be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Or you could bring up like I don't know. Some people have seen that movie Lakeview Terrace with Samuel L. Jackson, but that's like right up the street. But anyway, so Yeah, just grew up in Pacoima, man, and it's the hood. Shit is crazy.
The only thing I associate with Pacoima, one thing I do is I played baseball in an adult league for a period of time, and we
Mm-hmm.
played up at I think it was Pacoima Park, I think was the name of it. That maybe,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and we played ball there, and I remember that, and that's really all I know about it. Maybe it wasn't the nicest neighborhood, but you get houses there, I'm sure, are costing a pretty penny right at this point. Everything is expensive everywhere.
Danny Trejo's from Pacoima too. George Lopez. Well, I think George Lopez is from San Fernando, which is like right next to Pacoima. And then who else? I think Richie Valens. I think he's from Pacoima too. He has a park out there. You know,
There's
so
history. There's
there's some
history.
history there for sure, man. History for sure. So that's where life started.
What are earliest memories? 3, 4, 5 years old. What jumps out at you? Was I guess family life like siblings? What's Kid Arthur
Mm,
remember?
I don't know. So many. It's like a kid playing with toys. I had sisters too, so I was the only boy. So yeah, just chilling with the family and stuff.
What about elementary school? What were you into as a kid that age?
I was always like playing sports and stuff, just running around. I was just active. I was like an athlete all the time. So
Yeah,
just you know, knowing everybody. I was very social and stuff, and just always down for recess and sports.
yeah. This sounds like me. And I was reading. I remember that you were not the greatest student, and if I don't know if that was in elementary school too, but what was the academic life like even when you were young?
I mean, elementary school is cool. I mean, I just didn't want to. I'm just rebellious. I just didn't want to. Like high school is stupid because you have to do all this shit you don't want to fucking do and you don't give a fuck about. So it's like just realizing that once I got older, I wasn't a bad student. I just didn't. It's like these past 2 years I realized that I wasn't a bad student. I was just didn't want to do the shit that they would tell me to do. Because there was a physics class that I took, and I don't know why, but it piqued. It like really interested me. Like it caught my interest, and I was hella good at physics. And I was really bad in high school too. But it was like everybody used to be like, "What?" And I knew it. I was always smart, but and people would just be like surprised, like, how do you know this? And I would just like, I don't know. I just figured out my brain. I was just very visual and stuff.
Were you
So
bored? Were you bored in school? Do you remember a lot, or was it not challenging enough? Or
yeah, it was boring. A lot of shit I didn't care about. I hated history. Why? I don't give a fuck about it. Like I didn't give two shits. What else?
yeah,
English.
that's stuff that already
I
happens. Who needs to know about that?
I know, but it's just like too. It's just a bunch of stuff. Like if it's just like somebody walking up to you, talking to you about pigeons and da da da. And if you don't give a fuck about pigeons, it's just like you're not gonna care,
No,
no matter how much they try to talk about it or like, you just like, bro, I don't care, you know.
I remember having conversations with like my mom and my parents about that. Like, and every kid must like when you come home and you're like, why do I have to learn this? I'm never gonna use this in my life. I remember saying that phrase. When am I gonna use this in my life? I don't need to know. For me, physics I didn't like and I wasn't good at.
Mhm.
So that's something that I would say. Um, what about besides sports, were you watching movies, TV shows, and things like that, music,
Yeah, like
or other culture stuff?
I was watching like Dragon-Ball-Z and shit. That was my shit right there.
I know nothing about it. That is kind of my era, though. I
It's
think.
crazy. Like I watched it a lot, but I watched a lot of stuff. But I'm not the type of person like I have stuff memorized. Some stuff it just depends. But I did watch it a lot. I used to like I couldn't wait to get home from school and like just have my peace and be like, yeah, it's Wednesday. I think it was Wednesdays when they would like new episodes would come out. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm about to watch Dragon Ball Z. Everybody, leave me the fuck alone.
Where you said you were like rebellious also. Where did that come from? Where's the is that from family? Is that from like just
Yeah, it's like
where,
family stuff.
just trying to fit in and amongst two sisters and trying to get attention or something like that?
No, not even for attention. This really just like being angry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
It's deep, man.
It's a long story.
Long story.
Long story. Maybe for a different time.
Yeah, that's man. Long story.
Hey, you seem less angry now, though.
Huh?
You seem less angry now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Long time, man.
Psychedelics help with that. I'm guessing we can jump around a little bit because we were talking about mushrooms a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When did
Help.
what yeah, when did mushrooms and become a thing for you, or something that you not even when you first started, but maybe when you started to take seriously as like,
I
I
was
guess
like
that's
24.
when you were what?
I was like 24. Yeah,
Yeah.
got a little older. Yeah, had did some mushrooms and it was like a deep spiritual experience. And then boom, we had to change my perspective on them.
Did
Yeah.
someone open up your mind to that sort of approach to taking mushrooms, or what?
No, I knew that was what it was really about. So it's like I already knew. And I just needed it's like going through some stuff and I just did them. I was like, yeah, I think I need to do them. Like this is the time to do them. And then
Yeah.
then it fucking helped, man.
It did or it didn't.
It did.
Yeah, that's good. Let's go back a little bit to like high school, because you said you were like into sports and whatnot, and some other things. What was life like in high school? Good at physics, good at sports, not liking school. Tell me more about being a rebellious. Tell me about the
Man,
teen
I used to gang bang and shit too. So it was like,
in Pacoima.
uh-huh. Yeah, so it was like I was fighting a lot and stuff. There was a bunch of shit. Like it was like grown ass niggas were coming up to our school, pulling out guns on us and all kind of stuff.
Why do you get why? What is is it more just is it just kind of looking for it looking for acceptance amongst peers, to like put it in the widest terms possible, like just like looking for
No, I mean I guess so, but it's just part of the neighborhood, really.
most people you knew your age were involved in those types of shenanigans.
Yeah, so it's just like ain't really acceptance either too. It's just like hard to get away from.
Yeah. How do you decide who to team up with? Is there like do you have to rush like a fraternity? Is it like is there a forms to fill out?
Nah, no farms, man. You know, it's just it's different. It's a whole
It happens organically.
it's a whole other world, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, don't confess anything on this podcast, by the way.
Oh hell no! I ain't like these fucking internet rap niggas. Hell no.
Who was? Is it you that someone has a bit about that? Who? Oh, I think I think is it Max? I think Mac Castillo has a bit about rappers confessing to crimes on
Oh
the
no,
track.
it's
Who is
yeah,
that?
this dude Niles.
Oh, Niles, not Max. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he got that bit.
Niles Abston.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But yeah,
right.
that's what people be telling on themselves.
Yeah,
Just to look cool on the internet, man.
yeah. There's other ways to look cool on the internet.
I know, huh? Post a picture with your bomb. That looks cool. The hoes will love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, plenty of other. So it was. I mean, that's kind of scary, though, aren't you? Isn't that a scary life? I mean, you said it was kind of inevitable or like unavoidable in a lot of ways, but isn't that like a scary life to live? And like every day, this crazy shit's happening, or often enough, people pulling out guns at school and stuff.
I know. Yeah, it was crazy. It's weird though,
Yeah,
but like this shit is just so like normal to you. You're just like, I don't know. You know?
yeah. So you're not afraid of bombing.
No, I'm not
You,
afraid of bombing.
you think that's part? You think that's part of it? The fact that you've seen some shit and been through some shit that like these obstacles and challenges in life just don't seem, they pale in comparison. terms of stress
Yeah,
levels?
yeah, it's definitely helped. There's a lot of things that have been like hella hard that made it so like comedy, isn't like scary.
It
Like,
is therapy, though. I mean, I'm jumping around the question, but comedy isn't it is a form of therapy, is it not for you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I would say no personally. No, yeah, I would say no. I mean, it's cool. I say like 25% yes and 75% no. Just because too, it's so mentally compromising, and it's easy to. I feel like it's easy to kind of get caught slipping with it. It's easy to get caught up in the whole like, oh, this is fun and this, that, and that, because I feel like it's easy for that because we've been like conditioned to like sacrifice so much for it, you know. And so I love comedy to death, but I do have such like a love hate relationship with it. We're so conditioned to sacrifice so much of our time, resources, and energy to do something that is like at its basic, simplest form. I talked to somebody about this. At its basic, simplest form is pretty much being like a court jester, the Joker, the dude coming in and like, and that's just it. That's just comedy at its most basic, simplest form, Now at this point in time in humanity, it has evolved into something so much greater and such like an art form that is a craft, and it takes skill to do. But dang, it just I don't see it as therapy that much
I feel yeah.
because
I'm
you could be
pick
going through some terrible shit and then not deal with it really. You kind of just compartmentalize, and then you go out there and boom and make people laugh, this, that, and that, and then you want to dress your own self until like way later on to where it's like it should have been addressed earlier because we live such a fun lifestyle. We get caught up in just the hanging out, partying, and we joke about stuff so much that we kind of don't sit back and like, all right, I really need to figure this shit out.
right. Sometimes I feel like material can be personal issues and personal problems and struggles and even traumas being worked out, but it sounds like a lot of the time whatever material a comedian might be performing or even writing or working at the time, in addition to the fun aspects of comedy, like you might not be working on like your relationship, with your significant others, with your
Your mental
family,
health.
with your other, personal development things. So yeah, no, I appreciate that honest answer. Were you into comedy? I mean, besides the gangbang sports and physics, were you watching comedy or Saturday Night Live or any scripted, unscripted type
Yeah,
stuff
I
growing
watched
up?
growing up.
What's that?
Yeah, I watched comedy growing up. I watched it all the time.
Any particular comedians or
I watch Comic View a lot. So yeah, like uh, Ricky Smiley, Earthquake, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey, Rodman, Arnez J, fucking Godfrey, dude, who else? Melanie Camacho, Lavelle Crawford, Bruce. Honestly, I think like around then, I like to watch Ricky Smiley a lot because he hosted Comic View a lot. I think he was a host. Bruce was a host, and I don't remember who else hosted it. But Ricky Smiley would like come out and do characters. He would do a character like this because he was like a Christian. He would do like church comedy for like all the old black people, and he would like come out and dress up as like one of the church ladies, and he would do the announcements. And the shit was so funny because like I grew up going to church, and it was just so funny. Like at like under the age of 10, I knew what the fuck he was talking about because I would see it, and then he would do like one of this like special needs kid, little Daryl, and Lil Daryl would like do stuff at the church and all. It was funny. So yeah, I always watched it, but I never was like, oh, I want to do stand up. I just watched it.
That's funny that you understood the bits when you were 10 years old, because it sounds like you're referring to bits that were not intended for kids and that were bits for adults, but you like fully understood like what they were talking about, like adult themed sexual violence, whatever, just adult topics, whatever they may be. You understood them. That's funny, because I talked to comedians and like they would repeat stuff, and kids will repeat things they hear and instinctively know that's a joke is funny and like something about them, a silly word, a silly expression. But
Yeah,
like for you to be 10 years old and like fully understanding like the adult topics is funny.
yeah, I was always very mature for my age.
Yeah. In some ways.
Mm-hmm.
in some ways, perhaps. What about, so like going into like junior, senior year of high school, where do you think your life would be heading? Where were we going? Either college or working, or we're moving up the corporate ladder in the gang banging? Do you get like promoted in that world? Is there
Oh no,
promotions?
he wasn't that serious. I had stopped too, so it was just, it wasn't everything. It was
That's
dumb,
good.
but yeah, it was stupid. So
That
yeah, I ended up stopping. I moved away and everything. You know, moved away. Shit, man, life is so much.
So you ended up in Phoenix or Arizona
Yeah,
from
and
from
I was like 19. That's when I moved out there.
yeah, tell me tell me about the journey to Phoenix, and what were you doing out there, because I know that's where you got into comedy.
Yeah. So I just moved out there just to get away and try to, trying to be an adult, really. So yeah, I just moved out there, man. Got a job, was working, got my own place. At like 19, I had my own place. Just working, man. Met a bunch of people and stuff. Now I was working at 24 Hour Fitness, and then I started working at the bank. I started working at Chase. So then I worked there for like 6 years. So I was just living, man. Really, I was just becoming an adult. I went to school for a little bit, but that shit wasn't for me. And I had a teacher too who was like acting like it was high school. I was like, nigga, you know I pay to come here, right? Like, I don't have to be. I was in my work clothes, like, what the? It was some power trip shit, and I was like, I'm not coming back. Y'all got me fucked up. So
I've noticed that, and I've had some of those experiences where like you're either even in high school or growing up, it's like you have a bad teacher, and having that bad teacher really turns you off from
yeah,
continuing
you
school
can have
or
a great
or a
job.
subject or something like that. Yeah, it's like it really can change the
Yeah.
trajectory of a young kid, a young adult or kid. Like if they have a bad teacher, like it closes doors.
Yeah, it's like having an excellent job with great benefits and all that. But if you have a shitty ass manager, it's gonna fucking be terrible.
Yeah.
Or a shitty boss. A shitty boss could fuck a job up. Just like, yeah, a shitty teacher could fuck up school. So yeah, I stopped going. And I was just focused on work too, because I'm like, man, I just gotta pay these bills. This school shit ain't about to pay my bills. I was going to school for computer science, but yeah, this school wasn't for me though. Even though now, like, I've always been very tech savvy. So, but yeah, I was like, this shit ain't for me, because I'm gonna slap one of these teachers.
That can
Because
make
like
it
these
fun for the
people
other
would be like on
students.
a power trip. These teachers would just get on a power trip. Like even in high school, I almost beat up one of these fucking teachers in high school because we're like in detention and we're in detention. Whatever, the lady was in there that ran the detention. She was this fucking mean ass racist white lady who just, if you pick and choose to do that constantly, to be the person to yell at kids and do all that shit because they're in detention, like you're probably a piece of shit. Like that's what you choose to do. Like, and she used to teach too, but then she just would just do that, and it's just, so we're in there. She's like tripping. People will go in there and talk shit to her, or like whatever. It's high school kids, and you're gonna be a super asshole. Like kids are gonna fuck with you. and she's like talking to me crazy. I remember she told one of us, this was like 2006. It's like right after Hurricane Katrina, and like a bunch of people had came. They had came to our school, and she was like, "Some, why don't y'all go back? Why don't y'all go back to New Orleans or something like that?" And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, bitch, we know who the fuck you talking about." So it was like shit like that. And one day I get into it with her, and then this dude comes in. After I think he was a dean or something like that, and you know, he was like he just came at me like hella tough, and people were looking at me like, "Archie, don't do it." And I was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And like, I just talk shit to him, and I was like, "Man, like, I don't have time for it." You know, he was he just popped out of nowhere, and it was just like, "Oh, I'm demanding your respect right now." It was on some like, it was on some like jail correctional officer type of shit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Like our school was built by the same people who make prisons, and it just has the same type of feel.
That's
And
not an
so
accident. That's not an accident.
no, it's not an
That's
accident at all.
no.
Literally, like the windows on all the doors are like this, and like it literally like a prison. And so we're like going to the office, and he like talking shit. I'm talking shit back to him, and then he's talking about he was gonna expel me, and I was like, man, I ain't even do nothing. Like, he ain't about to expel me. So we get to the office, and then he's like, print out the papers. We're kicking him out now. And I got kicked out of one of my middle schools. I'm like, oh, I can't get kicked out again. And so then I just leave. And I start going to one of my classes. He comes out of nowhere, full speed, charging, and grabs me. Snatch,
Wow.
and I pushed him, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, grab me again. I'm gonna beat you." Like, yeah, you had to do all that. And our school too was like really bad. Like that movie Freedom Riders. Like that's like the closest like thing I could say at our school is like, but worse too.
Damn.
So so it's just like, what you doing, man? Let go of me.
But then it kind of settled down after that. There wasn't a whole melee.
Yeah, I didn't get kicked out because he was like, he said something to me like, "That's why we don't want your kind here," or something like that. And I was like, "What?" And I told my mom, and he was like, "No, I didn't mean it like that." And they let me stay, and I was like, "Yeah," but he never fucked me in. But I was always really cool with everybody and shit too. But yeah, I just don't like the teachers who would like try to power trip or like, you know, because growing up too, like in the Baptist church, man, there's hella people that like put their hands on your stuff, and I would just be like, "Bro, y'all don't put your hands on me. These mean ass adults."
Why? Just because you're just being a kid, basically, and
Mm-hmm.
adults are trying to they go overboard with discipline.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, ass whooping is the only answer."
Yeah,
From people who aren't even your family either, too. He's like, "Oh no."
that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Religion.
Interesting. So I guess tell me about you moved out to Arizona to Phoenix. It was Phoenix, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And you moved out there just by totally by yourself? Or with any friends or something like that?
My sister lived out there.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was just out there, man, trying to make it happen. And then I started doing stand up when I was like 24. And then, yeah, that was something. It just like fell in my lap. Because, like I said, I was never like, oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. It just happened.
How?
It just happened easy, man. I mean, just like, I don't know. Yeah, people are always just like coming into the bank like, oh my God, you should be in acting. You have a good voice. And then like these old white people will come in, oh my God, you look just like Nick Cannon. And I'll be like, what the fuck? No, I don't. No, I don't. Like all the time. All the time. You look like Nick Cannon. I was like, bro,
Only white people would say this.
yes. Yeah.
That's funny.
And I would just be like, oh, people would say it, and I would just be like, where the fuck is this coming from? I didn't get it. But then like so I mean I had always thought about acting or whatever. So first I just looked into like acting, and then went from me looking into acting to like two of my friends, they were like, oh yeah, we know this place that have acting classes. It was like the 10-piece Center of Arts. They're like, yeah, we've been doing a stand-up class there. And I was like, wait, what? They have like classes for like stand-up comedy? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, damn, like my friends, they were funny. And I was like, damn, if y'all could do that shit, I could do that shit. And so I looked into it, and it was like $400. I didn't end up doing it, and then I kind of just veered away from it. And then like not long after, I had to help out at another location for Chase, and the girl that I went to help that worked there, she started like telling me about this place that did stand up comedy, and I didn't even ask her. She just started telling me like, "Oh yeah, we went to this place, and it's called the Lighthouse. They do stand up comedy, and like they have an open mic night and stuff. Like the food is good. It's really dope. Like you should check it out." And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy that you bring that up, cause I've been thinking about getting into stand up comedy. Like, fuck, it was just so random. I was like, this. It felt like deja vu. I was like, this is crazy. Like, all right, maybe I should go check it out." So I went to go check it out. Like I went on one night and it was the wrong night. Went again. I went to an actual show and I brought like a bunch of my coworkers. And the DJ, who is also the producer, everybody from my job that came, we were like, oh, we know this nigga. This nigga, like, he used to be one of my customers from like 2 years before. And I'm like, this is another thing. Like, it's just like coming to me. It was just another sign. Like, yeah, you should do this shit. So I watched the show, watched people perform. I talked to some of the comedians. Like, I'm still friends with most of them now. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about trying it. I'm gonna go to school. And they were like, don't go to school. Come to the open mic. Like, write some jokes. Come to the open mic. Bam. So it was like a week or two. I remember like standing in the mirror, like, oh, like doing this whole shit. And I get to the open mic. There's like 60 people there. It was the complete opposite of LA open mic. So there's like 60 people there. I brought like 10 people, and then there's like maybe 10 comedians. I go up, and then like the first it took like 20 seconds, and it was just like, boom. I was like good instantly. And it was just like I was comfortable instantly, like, oh yeah, this is it. And it was just from there, like, yeah, from there on, shit was wild.
Well, I do hear from comedians who do it the first time, and the first open mic sometimes goes well because it's a supportive environment and the crowd sort of knows that, so they want to laugh and they want to be supportive. Not saying you weren't funny, but what were were gigs 2 through 60 the same reaction from the crowd, or did
My
it get?
second show I did in front of like 200 people, and I murdered.
Damn, that is that must be so encouraging and like a crazy
And I
high.
wrote new jokes and everything too, and I murdered. And then, yeah, I don't think the first time I bombed, I wouldn't even consider it a bomb. It was just a show that didn't have any people, and it was only comedians. Everybody's energy was off too, and it was just like, so that was the first one. But, jeez, yeah, I haven't really. But yeah, it was just like, I mean, instantly, bro. The first time, like, no sympathy laughs, no nothing. Like, I can play the video and like I hear like my homeboys, the comedians, hear them niggas dying. Like I can hear their laughs and I know who it is. And this is before I didn't know them. They didn't. I was just new. I was just
Damn.
dude. Yeah, and it was like it. I'll send you the video.
Do it. So sounds like you've never like really bombed. Maybe some things haven't worked, or you try some new material doesn't work, or you get sort of different levels of different reactions. But in terms of just the start to finish, complete crickets or
One
something.
show. There's one. Okay. The first show I really like bombed, and it wasn't even me. It wasn't even just me. It was everybody. We did a show at Elks Lodge, and that's funny too because when I did the show with you at the lodge, it was Elks Lodge. It was in Phoenix. It was on the south side, right? It was on the south side of Phoenix. I think I told you this story. We were there too because when we were at the show, I was like, bro, this reminds me of Phoenix. That time I did a show at the Elks Lodge. We do the show at the Elks Lodge, right? This dude gets me and like three other homies. Everybody's hilarious too. I'm still in my first year. Everybody else in the show had been doing comedy for like, I don't know, between 3 to 5 years, and they were funny as fuck. And I would watch these niggas kill. And they were like older brothers and sisters to me. Like, and so I would like there's a lot of people in Phoenix too that I would just constantly I would pay so much attention to them. Like me and Mike Turner, Yeah, I'm not sure if you know Mike Turner, but Mike Turner. I started with shit with Jesse Johnson, even Michael Longfellow too. Like, starting out there, so it's like I would pay attention to everybody, you know. So it's like this show I was on. They have been doing comedy longer. I'm like, I would watch them crushed 100 person room, 20 people, 300, and so we on the show. The dude, he's from this church, puts the show together. I think he paid me like 250, 350, and it's all hyped up. We promoting the flyer, passing out flyers, all this. We get to the lodge. There could have been at least 100 people in there that could have sat in there, but maybe 30. And it's south side of Phoenix too. It's like kind of like the hood. So it's like a bunch of older black people in there. And yeah, those niggas, majority of the people that were there were not, they were there kicking it. It was like their living room. It was like, what y'all doing here?
You were
There was
invading
one,
their space.
yeah, we were invading their space. There was one poster in the back and it was hella small. And I was like, oh, these niggas don't want us to be here. And everybody was so funny in the show. So like the show starts, I think I go like second, first or second. They didn't laugh at all. I think I went second. Yeah, I think I went like second. And I was just seeing like, ooh, they ain't fucking with this. Everybody goes up. Last dude goes up, my homeboy said. He goes up, he just cusses everybody out. He talks shit to everybody. Oh, you fat bitch, and you ain't laughing because this and that. Like, he turned it on. All these motherfuckers is funny. Like, it was wild. And it was crazy. I was like, hey, I got paid already, so. But that was the worst show I ever did. It felt like shit.
Did you appreciate that your comedian friend expressed his frustrations with the crowd? It's kind of like the manager coming out to say his piece in baseball. Like when you know the arguments or the play, it's already been called. You're already lost the argument, but you're
He coming out. He got your back. He about to fight your battle.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I was like, oh hell yeah, thanks, man. Because damn. But it was like
Who
that
was
was
that?
cool.
Who
But
was that?
my friend Cedric. I can't remember his last name right now. Yeah, my boy Cedric, man. Said he's so funny.
I'll
Big
type
dude.
Cedric. I'll type go into your Instagram followers and type Cedric and see if he's. Well, I can figure out who it is probably.
Mm-hmm. Big black dude. But I feel like shit though, man. Because I was like, damn, like it was weird. I got paid for the show, whatever. But I was just like, the money don't feel good. I was telling my girlfriend at the time because she was with me, and I was just like, I don't like this. This felt like, ugh. I felt disgusting. And
But
not
you,
of getting the money. I was just like, ooh, damn. Now, I see what it feels like not to have a good show. That was whack, bro. And I had so many amazing shows, so many like for real from the beginning. Like I was really good, and at the place like at the Lighthouse out west, like shows in Arizona, I got really good really quick too. Like once was because I was naturally good, but then also too I had very good like stage time, very good high quality stage times where like I was getting up. There was way more. It was like comedians to fans, fans to comedians. It was like 10-1. And so it was just I was getting real audience reactions. I'd be up in front of 50, 100, 200 people like kind of often, you know.
I'm always interested in the different scenes and what makes like a scene unique. And I guess like tell me more about like the Phoenix scene and what makes it unique besides I guess like compared to LA getting more stage time. And I'm thinking to myself like if it's there's such a limited amount, a number of comedians and up and coming comedians in a place like Arizona and Phoenix,
Oh
and the
yeah.
audiences are so big, I would almost think that would entice more people to try it when they see that there's interest in it. But I guess that's not necessarily the case. It's not LA. It's not like the entertainment business. It's just like a niche, not a hobby, but that's what it's looked at as,
Yeah,
but by I guess regular people, so to speak.
Only for a select few. The scene was different, man. Yeah, definitely not as saturated as LA. So you didn't have as many people out there like taking up space. There were like, I'd say it's a good amount of shows, not a whole bunch. There were enough shows to where it's like you kind of knew all of them, but you knew which ones that you wanted to go to. You could tell which ones like really be popping,
Yeah.
For like out here, you kind of don't know, you know what I mean? Like it just depends because there's just so many, and like there's so many different flyers and shit. So out there, it was just everything was just there was less to choose from, but people people definitely came out to the shows. Definitely, people would come out, especially if your show is if your show is on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You most likely were gonna have a good turnout.
I heard a conversation once that comedy is always a good form of entertainment for people because you can kind of like do it almost anywhere, anytime, and it doesn't cost a ton of money to put on a show, and it's kind of always needed in both times and good and bad, and it's
Yep.
easy to see who's funny, like who gets laughter. It's objective in a lot of ways.
Yep. Yeah, man. The scene was cool. It was cool, man. Every scene has like their clicky thing or section, but it wasn't too bad. I've always done a good job of like I've always just been very social, very cool. Like I may have like the core people that I hang out with, but I've always known everybody. And if like, hang out with everybody, like we'll go to different circles and go chill. Or even just be by myself and chill. But that was cool. It's a cool scene. And it's always dope too to like see some of the people that I had started with out there, like out here. I remember I hadn't seen Jesse Johnson for a minute. And then she moved here. And I saw her, I was like, Jesse, like, oh shit, I was so happy to see her. And then like she moved out here, and then when Mike Turner started coming out here a lot, that was dope. And then when he moved out here, he lived out here for a little bit too, so it was really dope seeing him. And then Michael Longfellow moved out here too. And Anwar was coming out here a lot. Who else? Sometimes my boy Sydney would come. My friend Aisha Renee. Aisha Renee was on that show with me and said at the Elks Lodge. She funny as fuck. So funny, man. She came out here and did chocolate Sundays, and I went out with her to see her. I always try to like see my Arizona people whenever they come out, because Arizona was really like a second home to me. Like I'm from LA, but I became an adult. I became a man in Arizona.
Yeah, tell me more about that, like, and the journey from Arizona to LA and how that all kind of came together.
Man, fucking, I was working at the bank. I ended up losing my job because I got pulled over with like, man, Arizona was one of those places like where when weed wasn't legal. I got pulled over with like less than half a gram, and I had a beer at 9 o'clock, and I got pulled over like 3 in the morning. This one, I wasn't even drunk. I was a DD, and everybody else was wasted. I just didn't drink water, so it was like still on me. And so that happened whenever I got arrested. That was cool. I was already doing comedy, and I was already to the point where I was like, man, I don't know, fucking this bank job is cool. People are like, oh, you work at the bank. They think it's such a great job, but man, those motherfuckers are so stingy, so stingy. So I was trying to become I was already a business banker and like a vault custodian, all this stuff. I was really good at that shit. So I was trying to get licensed so I could do investments. So I was trying to get paid more. Like if I'm gonna be doing this, I need to be making more money. I don't want to do this retail shit. So everything was lining up. I was about to go to the class. I was gonna be in class for like 2 months studying all this stuff to become a broker and to be able to do like private clients. I forgot. I didn't know that they would do a federal background check whenever you have to like do something. I thought, oh, they already did it once. They don't need to do it again. They pull up my record, and they're like, oh shit, what's this, that, and that. So it's kind of just like everything happened for a reason. So it's like I ended up like having to like get a new position, but my manager didn't want to help me because she was mad. Like, you didn't tell me. I was like, I don't need to fucking tell you I got arrested. Like, it's none of your business. Like, you know. And so I had just got out of that relationship I was in, and then like I got let go from my job like a month before my lease was up. So I was like, I was able to pay my rent and the last month or whatever, and figure out if I was gonna get a job and stay in Arizona or just move back to LA. And then that's when I did, because I was always so like terrified of moving back to LA, because I was like, I don't want to fucking move back, and like I don't want to lose everything and have to move back with my family. Like, fuck that, because there were so many people here that just were doing the same shit, and I was just that's why I had left a few times. I had left because I was just like, niggas are doing the same shit. Ain't nobody trying to progress. People would try to make fun of me because I will hang out with different people and I knew different people. And I was like, I can't be around the same niggas all day who don't do shit.
It's toxic.
It's fucking, I'm gonna be stuck. Like, y'all mad because I fucking go talk to the skaters and I kick it with them niggas? I said, we. I'm hanging out. I know everybody. Everybody's cool, you know? And so that's when I did shrooms, and that's when like I had my deepest spiritual experience. I ate like 4 grams, and it really just taught me like, man, sometimes shit happens, but everything's gonna be all right. And I just like calm me down. So you don't have to move back to LA. Stand up is going really good. You're really good at the shit. You know, you don't need to just stay out here for it. Cause I had already hit the like you can hit a ceiling in certain scenes. So Arizona is one of those scenes where you can hit a ceiling, you have to leave. So it's kind of just like I was forced to leave, and boom, I moved back to LA.
That's
And
kind of like the choice. Like once you hit like the ceiling in a scene, it's either like you're gonna become like I guess a regular professional in that city type of comedian, or if you want something where you gotta like I guess go to LA or New York or be awesome at social media. I guess that can be a thing now, and there's some other avenues to grow these days, perhaps.
yeah, I don't want to do social media. I never really wanted to do it. Like sometimes making sketches are cool, but I just like
It's a pain.
I don't want to keep putting my energy and effort into that. Where it's like I'll do stand up so I could do stand up. Like I want to be a beast at that. I don't want to be an NBA player, but I'm fucking working on engineering basketballs. Like, no, you need to focus on your game. You know.
No, yeah, it all takes time and time management. I feel you for sure. That's quite a journey. Like, and I feel like you're almost like you've been through a lot and seen a lot. So maybe like these obstacles, like I was guessing, are not like the end of the world to you, but they're pretty traumatic things. That losing their job, getting arrested, that's like those are hard things to go through. And then like with your work and traumatic, changing your whole life's course, like. Are you sad, scared? Do you cry? Like, probably all of the
Dude,
above.
all the above. It was like, oh, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then I had a going away show too, right? Moving. I know so many people in Arizona. People still ask me, like, when you go do a show here? And I need to do it.
You haven't really been back to Arizona since to do shows or any?
I've done a few, but not. I haven't put up my own show on Arizona probably since like 2016. Um, yeah, since like 2016. Last one I went last year in like April. I went with Rachel Wilson, and we did CB Live in like North Phoenix, and that was dope. I haven't been to that place. It was fucking huge, but that was dope. And I had a bunch of people come and stuff. Like I got a lot of close friends, people that are like my family there, you know, because like I would spend holidays with my friends. I wouldn't go back home a lot. I met a lot of cool people, but what was I saying? But yeah, that's the last time I did a show. Last time I did a show there. But when I had the going away show, man, I had like 80 people come out. I put my friends up. That was the first time I did an hour too in my first year. And like I had enough jokes to do an hour. And I got drunk though too, because I wasn't recording or filming it. I was about to do it. It's just like I made the night about me, and I usually just don't really do that. And so did that. It was fun. It was good. There was one time where I had like my arsenal of jokes, and I was saying one of the jokes. Oh, I need to message her back. Was it Brittany? I'm not sure if it was my friend Brittany. Somebody said I was saying the joke, and like there was a couple of my friends who had heard it before, and they like finished it for me, and I was just like, people still laugh, but I was like, ooh, I don't like that. I ain't gonna never let that shit happen again. And so like, but everything went really good. But that's one thing that really stood out. And I was like, okay, I have to like keep writing and like constantly do new stuff and like switch it up. Cause woo, but yeah, man, Arizona's a special place to me.
What about LA and coming back and the journey from LA moving back
LA's
to the
been dope.
present? What's
LA's
that?
dope. LA has been dope. Like since I moved back, first show, like scandalous ass, shady ass LA people try to do me dirty, all this shit. I cussed the lady the fuck out. It was on some weird shit, bro. Some weird, and that shit happened to me yesterday too at this fucking club. I ain't even gonna say it, but say which one it was. But motherfucker, you know people try to treat you like you ain't shit. I went off on them yesterday, like y'all not about to fucking do this shit to me. Y'all not about to act like with the incident that happened yesterday. The people that try to like power trip and act like they have power in this game are usually the motherfuckers that don't, that have no power. They just are trying to like convince you to like kiss their ass and suck their dick, and it's just like that was like the first thing that happened when I trying to do this show in LA, and I was like, hell no, like, I come from a different world. That I ain't letting that shit happen to me. Hell no. And then I had did this one show at like the Springbok, and so most of my shows too, like I'm from here, so it's like I know a gang of people, you know, and I brought like 40 people. Did this show. I remember the headliner went up in the middle of the show. Dude was not funny, and I went up. It was my mom first time seeing me too. I went up, killed, and then I remember going up to my mom after, like I gave her a hug and we took a picture. I whispered in her ear like, "Yeah, now you see what I'm capable of," and she was like, "Oh shit." And then not long after that, I had I was on Crack 'em Up Thursdays for the first time, and I filled up the belly room, and I was killing. It was like truly like an out of body experience. I was
At the
killing.
comedy store.
Yeah, the Comedy Store. Yeah, and it was just like, even though a lot of people there, they knew me, like there was people there that didn't. Like motherfuckers were in there screaming. And while I was on stage too, I remember I don't know exactly what I was talking about. But there was a point too where I was murdering. Everybody's dying laughing, and at the stairs in the belly room, Earthquake is standing there, and he just like he at the thing at the stairs where there's like that like ledge of wood where you can put your hands. He's like leaning and watching me, and it was just like I don't know. Our brains move so fast up there, so it was just like I had thought about all the times I've seen this nigga. I was like, I know who that is. That's Earthquake. I've watched him so many times as a kid, like kill, and I'm killing right now, and he watching, and he is acknowledging it, and then whoop back, and I just keep going because I was only supposed to do like 7 minutes, and I did 15. They let me do 15 because I remember looking for the light too, and I was like, oh, okay, bet, and I was just going.
Wow. So you were doing so well to the point that they just let you keep going.
And it's funny too because it was like somebody hosted first. I think John Thompson was hosting first, and then they would do. This is when they would do two hosts for Crack 'em Up. It was John Thompson first, and then the second half of the show started. Ron Taylor went up. Ron Taylor was hosting, and he killed. And I was after Ron. I was like, okay, bet, here we go. And so Ron's a beast too, and I was like, oh, here we go. I guess it's like part of my competitiveness. I don't want to like be like, oh, I'm better than somebody, but I'm like, okay, cool, here we go. Like, it's like a dunk contest. Somebody does a fire ass dunk, and you come out like, I got one too, bang, you know. So it was crazy. And then I remember my homeboy Von Roberts. This is like a little bit after that, because after Crack 'em Up Thursday, I started running the show at a hookah lounge in Northridge by CSUN. Because my cousin had a friend who had, they were just opening it, and he asked my cousin if he wanted to put his clothing line in there, and my cousin was like, oh, maybe, I'm down to do that, but he's like, my cousin does stand-up comedy, like, you should meet him, y'all should talk, because maybe y'all could do something, like, y'all could help each other, you know. So then it was right by Seaside, man. So we met up, and I told him about, like, we could run the show, this, that, and that. Man, I ran it once a month for about a year. Comfortably, it see like 40 people, but we would get like 70 to 80 people in this hookah lounge. Like, choo. Me and my grandpa built a stage just fucking 4 feet by 8 feet, and it was like a foot off the ground. And I used to use his truck and drive it there and fucking put it in there and shit. And fucking that shit was popping. It was
That's
dope.
that's
People,
cool.
yeah, people still ask about that, and yeah, I was just putting people on. I had one show where like the whole lineup was my friends from Arizona that came out, and that show was dope. It was funny as hell. And then back to my friend Von Roberts. He like we were at the comedy store. We were at Crack 'em Up in the green room, and this fool just looks at me like, "Where did you come from?" Like, I'm like, "Nigga, I'm from here," but I started doing comedy in Arizona. I feel like a lot of people felt that too. Like, where did you come from? I would just I don't know. It's like I said, always cool with everybody, but I always do my own shit.
Was it more because they didn't see you until on the scene until recently, or was it more that your material, something about your material that made you feel somewhat like you weren't from LA or something, or both?
I don't know. I don't think my material. I definitely talked about being from here,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just don't really like I don't be in everybody's face like that. I just I just be chilling. I know who I know, and I just let people come to me. I just let stuff happen. So yeah, so I've always been like that too.
Cool. Sounds like you're on quite a comedy journey. Any other highlights in the last few years that sort of jump out at you from the comedy?
Man, I was just talking about this last night. I had to follow Dave Chappelle on Crack 'em Up. It was a night. Fucking Marlon Wayans was there. He popped in. He did like 45 minutes. Then Dave
When
Chappelle.
was this?
This was like 16, the end of
A while ago.
2017, 2017, I think. And yeah, it's like 2017. And then Dave Chappelle pops in. He's up there. And there were like three of us left. And then they come back, and the show comes back there, and she's like, okay, all right, Arthur, you're next. You follow Dave Chappelle, okay? She gave me like this real serious look too, like, I was like, all right, bet. Let's make it happen. And and so yeah, man, I went up and I fucking held my own, bro. And it was a pivotal moment because too, it was like all these fucking celebrities are there and stuff. And it was just one of those things where it's like I didn't get nervous to do shows after that. That was a pivotal moment.
Do you have to like acknowledge do you make like a joke like about you following Chappelle? Is it an elephant in the room like you're the guy who's following Chappelle, or is that a thing that you have to almost acknowledge or make a joke about? You could,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I definitely did address it. I don't remember exactly what I said though, but I don't even remember if I fucking voice recorded this. I'm gonna have to look and see if that's there. Cause I have majority of my voice recordings when I first started years ago. Almost 10 years of voice recording.
that's cool. Was that the first time you had interaction with Chappelle? Like, did he like shake your hand when you were coming on stage? Did you guys cross paths or have any interaction that night or before or
I
after?
I don't remember shaking his. I think I did shake his hand after, but no, I talked to him like 6, 7 months after that. I had a show at Crack 'em Up. I had a birthday show. Gosh, I remember this. This show was significant too, cause They had me DJing, right? So I was helping out DJ. I got so fucking mad too because I filled up the room again. It's my birthday. I'm from here, and also I was DJing, but I was just like, man, somebody else should be DJing. I need to be mingling and shit, you know. I got friends here, family here, and shit. Other comedians here. Then there's random people that other people brought. So then this comedian comes in. Her name Dominique. She's a beast, and I've been watching her my whole life too. She's funny as fuck. She was in that sketch on Chappelle's show where they were at the copy place. She's the black lady with like the afro. So funny. And so I'm supposed to go up. People are asking me when I'm gonna go up, and the show can be kind of long. I remember Dominique comes in and I get bumped. And it's like, I get it, whatever. But I was mad. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if Jesus came in here right now, nigga. It's my motherfucking birthday. I filled this bitch up. Y'all niggas don't bump me. I am a beast too. I was so mad. She went up and I was still DJ. I was so mad, dog. I was fuming. And this is one of those like first few times where I had to like learn to like compartmentalize, like channel my energy just to fucking go tell jokes. And this is the part about in the beginning where I was talking about how this is why I don't feel like it's therapy, because it's kind of like bad to do that, you know? Especially to like compartmentalize anger and go up there and tell jokes, you know? That should like make you insane. Like it makes me like this past like year, I'm like, okay, I understand the Joker. Like this nigga is crazy, you know? But I get it, you know? I swear. And so I go up, people come and ask me too, and I'm telling them like, bro, man, they was like, no, fuck that, do your shit, go up there and kill it. And I went up there and I fucking murdered too. And then after, I'm outside chilling, and fucking Dave Chappelle's there, and then I see him. He's in like his truck or whatever. He's like in the front seat, and there's this lady like this comedian. She was like so sexual, so nasty. And I knew what she was doing, talking to him. I was like, this might be one of the only opportunities I'll get the chance to like talk to him about myself. So I'll go up and I shoo her away. And I talked to Dave and I was like, hey man, I was like, Dave, hey man, I was like, I don't usually ask for pictures. I was like, Dave, you think I can get a pic? He was like, not really, man. He's like, I'm kind of lit. And I was like, all good. I was like, honestly, just want to talk to you. He was like, what's up? I was like, hey, do you remember when you came up here a few months ago? Marlon Wayans popped in, and then you popped in after him. He's like, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, man, I was like, I had to follow you that night, bro. And I was like, I held my own. I was like, I just want to say thank you. I've been watching you since I was a kid. Like I watched the Chappelle show, and we would recite that shit all the time. And then randomly, I just started doing comedy, and like I just never thought this shit would happen. And I was just like, man, thank you. I told him, I was like, it's my birthday, man. Like thank you. I appreciate you, bro. And he was like, Arthur, man. He was like, he just told me thank you. Keep it going. Keep doing your shit, man. And like he remembered too. He was like, I remember that night, man. And it was just dope. It was dope.
Very cool. That's a good little story there for sure. And I can kind of almost like hear you doing his inflection a little bit, like, and it's very easily picturing him speaking to you. I feel like I've talked to a handful of comedians who've had like just positive, cool interactions and experiences with Dave Chappelle. It's just like he's just a chill
Mm-hmm.
dude.
Yeah, for damn sure. Yeah, I wanna do a show with him again. For sure. Cause like, man, the energy. My dream like lineup would be fuck. I haven't talked to my friend Malcolm Hatchett in a while. I remember telling Malcolm Hatchett, I was like, bro, me, you, and Mike Epps on the lineup. Shit would be so hilarious. Or like me, him, Mike Epps, and Dave Chappelle. Oh my gosh.
I would go. I would hope to see it. That would be quite a show for sure. I appreciate your time. I feel like I've taken up too much of it. Good stories. So many comedians who've helped you, who you've been inspired by and worked with and rubbed shoulders with, and all of that. That's cool. It's a whole community, and you got a good balance between, like, I feel like the competitive stuff and the being inspired by there, and still appreciating your own solitude and doing your own thing at the same time as well.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, man.
Well, Yeah, one more for you. Ghosts, aliens. Do you believe in these things? UFOs? Any experiences with any of these things?
Hell no, no experience, thankfully. It's funny too. I just posted a clip. I did this jazz club yesterday in Ventura, and I walk up on stage, like it's crazy because there was a dude playing the piano. I walk up on stage and I hear the piano, but then when I get up there, I turn and I look. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Who's playing the piano? You know, I was like, oh, that's kind of like freaking me out. You know, I thought it was a ghost or some shit, but I believe in aliens. That shit, I want to see. I haven't really looked into it, but that UFO that landed in Texas, like what, 2, 3 weeks ago, bro. I was like, oh, here we go. You know, it's interesting. I remember watching that movie Signs, right? And there's that scene with the fucking there's like two scenes where the alien like puts his fucking fingers under the door and he fucking who was that, Mel Gibson, I think, and he fucking chopped the fingers off. And then there's that other scene where the fucking alien is like walking past on the, and I don't know why, man, that shit scared the fuck out of me first time I saw it.
What about ghosts? Any believe in any interactions with
Um
that type of stuff?
no interactions, thankfully. I don't want to interact with that shit. Hell no. That shit is scary. You know, that shit make the bottom of your feet turn pale white. You know,
It sounds like you believe in these things, and that maybe the UFOs, aliens have been here, but you personally have not had any interaction with these creatures. That's cool.
thankfully, I believe in them, and you know what? I do my best to stay the fuck away from all of that shit, man.
I think that's why I haven't had any experiences either, because I think the ghosts and aliens, like this guy respects us or something, or doesn't. I don't need to be haunted.
Hell no, I don't.
Cool. On that note, thank you again. I appreciate your time and the stories and all that, and appreciate your comedy. I'm sure I'll see you again up on stage soon enough. Why don't you tell people where they can find you, follow you, anything you're working on? Give you the floor to talk about all that stuff.
Man, thank you as well, bro. I appreciate you
Oh, for
too.
sure.
Um, comedian Arthur on everything, I guess. Spell Arthur like the cartoon. Oh, I don't have my Arthur chain on, but there it is.
Nice. There he's holding it up for
Spell
the audio
spell,
people. Arthur the cartoon. Was that?
spell Arthur like the cartoon. Arthur. Um, man, I think I'm gonna do another album this summer. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do another album this summer. I got my album Girl Dad out, and then I put out another EP called Pure Dope, and then I have a comedy special out as well called Shut Your Ass Up on YouTube. So yeah, man,
Nice. Grinding.
grinding, man. This shit's a grind for real.
I hear you. Well, get some sleep. I know it's been a intense last couple of days or so. And so again, thank you for your time, and let's talk soon.
For sure, man. Let's link up and chill, bro.
Oh, you got it. Peace.
All right, bro.
So there you have it, episode 142 with Arthur Hamilton. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciate his time, his humor, and really just the way he moves and carries himself throughout the comedy scene and through his professional life in general. Anyway, hope everyone is doing okay out there. Please check out peoplewelovepodcast.com, at People We Love Podcast on Instagram, at Adam Choit is me on Instagram and Twitter, adamchoit.com for all my social media, other stuff, links to my upcoming comedy show, Saturday, July 15th in Pasadena. But I think that's about all I got for today. I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you as always, and let's talk soon. Peace.